Hello everyone, I'm here to answer some of the queries I've had by students about what to do for the June 2020 Cambridge examination. And it's been a few tumultuous weeks and back and forth by Cambridge and their updates and so on. Now that we know what is finally decided, I think we can make a quick decision about everybody. Now, what I'll do is I'll talk about what I recommend for those students sitting for just the AS exam first in June 2020, and then talk about those sitting for the A2 exam in different components. But first, this part of the conversation is about just the students sitting for only AS exams in June 2020. Now, given the latest update that these June 2020 evidence-based grades will have no bearing on your overall A-level grade, I think that's a blessing in disguise. I think it's the best thing they could have decided. Why? Because now, if you're a good student and you've had good evidence, you're going to get a good grade, and that good grade will be enough to show to universities to get into universities. All right? If you are not doing well in the evidence-based result and you get a lower grade than expected, or it doesn't matter, that grade will have no bearing on your overall grade. And secondly, you are no obligation to show that result to any university, because an AS grade is on its own is not required for everybody to get by 12th year. You can get O levels and do A levels as composite after 2 years. So you never had to show AS in the 12th grade or A level first year. So you're not obliged to share your AS grades with universities, and it's evidence based anyways, so it has hardly any value for universities, because even universities will know that this grade will not be counted for the overall result. What will be counted for is the actual result at the end of A2. Now, there are some of the students who are thinking, you know what, I will not take this evidence-based grading in AS in June 2020. I will sit for the exams in November 2020 or June 2021. Now, first of all, there are two problems in November 2020. One, it affects your AS A2 level study for 3 months. No matter what students say, September, August and October is wasted revising AS. While you don't focus on A2, major chunk of the syllabus is finished there. And then when you come back to A2, you're going to screw up your A2 again. And that's the problem. That you might think that you need more time to do better in AS, and your AS exams are easier and you can score better, but it also comes at the expense of messing up your studying time for A2, and that affects it. Because people don't realize if you took 1.5 years study for AS, 6 months are not enough to study for A2. They are not. So for those kids who are thinking of doing it in November, do not do it in November. Just take the June 2020 result for AS and then focus 1 year on the whole of A2. Now, the reason why I don't like people sitting for AS in November again or AS in June 2021 right now would be that you're going to be studying 2 years worth of content in 1 year. Think about it. No matter what you do, you're going to revise AS, and you'll be studying for A2 for 3 subjects. 3 subjects A2 and revising 3 subjects AS. You might actually do well enough in the AS component, but you're going to do worse off in the A2 component than that you would have done if you had only focused on the A2 component. So your job would be I would recommend is get whatever grade you want to get right now, whatever you get at the June 2020 evidence-based result, and then just focus 1 year on A2. You'll get 1 year of time in life to study on for 1 year's component. But if you choose to study for take AS in November 2020 or June 2021, you'll have to be studying for 2 years worth of content in 1 year. No matter how good you are, you're going to mess up. Because if you were that good in studying all across the year, you wouldn't be in this position of having bad evidence-based grades. So you are going to do better for studying only the A2 component in A2, and ace that, and let that be your grade for overall. And that's what I recommend to both school students sitting for the AS exam and even private students. And why? Because private students might get a grade that has no value, but now they can focus on only studying for A2, and that being their only grade that they get. It makes it easier to score better on only 1 year's component than to worry about 2 years components, and especially for sciences where a lot of good kids don't do too well in the lab, and that lab drags it down. And also you can start studying for A2 abhi se hi, right? You have so much time to study for A2 right now. So for all AS level students, school or private, My suggestion is only one: take the evidence-based result right now. Whatever it is, it's a win-win. And then focus on A2 for the next 1 year only. But if you withdraw right now, then for you, your AS and A2 will matter, and 2 years worth of grades will be studied in 1 year, where both the levels A2 and AS will count towards your grade. And I think that's a risk that you'll be taking. So I would recommend you all take the evidence-based grade. Now we come to A2 students. It's different for those who have studied A2 in school and privately. First of all, those who study in school. Now my general advice to anybody studying for AS in school, A2 in school, is that even if you're giving AS or not, if you've already given AS, take the evidence-based result and move on with your life. If moving on to the next stage of your life is your biggest goal right now, get the grade, move on with your life. Now understand this, that if you have given AS, then if you already given AS and now you're giving A2, that means you've given AS in June 2019 or November 2019. Understand that your A2 result will be exactly the same, or more or less exactly the same, even if they give it by evidence-based grading, or even if you were to take the exam, because in our experience of conducting exams, most students carry forward the AS grades into A2, and some of them even dip. Improvement hardly ever happens. So my advice to those kids who have already given AS and are A2 students is, it will not going to improve for you, even if you don't evidence based or if you give the actual exam. Whatever your AS grades was is most likely your A2 grade. Take that chance right now and move on. Now if your AS grades were really sucky, you understand that was a measure of your ability. You were going to get the same grades in A2 even if you were sitting for the exam itself. So it doesn't really matter. That's why for those kids who are A2 students at June 2020, giving the A2 components in June 2020, having done their AS components in the previous sessions, for all of you, my recommendation is take the evidence-based grade result. And this is for both A2 students in school and A2 students privately also. Take this result, all right? For those of you who are private students but were sitting for both AS and A2 components together, you guys are in a bit of a pickle. I would recommend to those set of students who are A2 students, private, sitting for both AS and A2 components, to withdraw and sit for the November 2020 session or the June 2021 session. That's what my recommendation is. For the rest of everybody else, all of AS level students and all of A2 students who are either in school or private but have given AS already last year, all of you should be going for the evidence-based result, because for A2 the evidence-based result, if you already given AS, will be your AS grades, and that's the reality. Even if Cambridge doesn't give you that, that's what most people always get. But the only people who should withdraw are those who had not given AS, who are giving AS and A2 together this June 2020. You might want to withdraw if you didn't have school evidence results. You might want to withdraw and then give the exams in November. So those people who are private, have not given AS and A2, only those should withdraw. Everybody else should take the June 2020 result. Because as far as I see, the situation is not going to get better anytime soon. You might as well get a certification out right now and go on to the next phase in life. Being in limbo will be a problem for AS also and for A2. Anyways, I hope this answers your questions. If there are any more that I did not answer, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Khuda Hafiz and good night.